session includes some interesting, inspiring, creative short stories from youth and children's practitioners all over the area. Well, this year we've gone one better. How can we get better than that, might be asked? Thought so? Well, it's a youth and children's leaders conference. You invite, how do you get better? Is you invite young people to speak. And we have done just that for you this afternoon. We have six outstanding young people who are going to share some story of their own with you. The brief I gave them was, there'll be about 100 or so youth and children's workers in a room. What do they need to hear? So, we shall find out what you need to hear, what I need to hear from these young people. They have 3 minutes each. Should they dare to go over their 3 minutes in traditional joined-up conference style, the Oscar music will start kicking in. Like, we didn't quite cue this up. And they will have to finish what they're saying very quickly. But they've all told me that it won't be a problem halfway down. Just kidding. Right, ladies and gentlemen, would you give a warm round of applause to our first short story contributor? It's Kim.
Morning everyone, anyways. I was handsome and smart as a 17-year-old as I am now. I was always this confident, beautiful, and really good looking. As a kid, I had a lot of speaking skills. I'm a quite a speaker, very insecure. It was very hard to make friends, obviously. I had to speak, you know what kids are like. However, the transformation to the quiet little kid I was as a 5-year-old to 17-year-old as I now, it's relying on to my role models who have guided me through life, through the many youth groups that I've been a part of. An example of this was in year 7 at Mass, where I was sort of at the CPX, which I really enjoyed. And there was a specific time where we went to Kingswood, this little adventure camp there, and this is a really high obstacle course, and I'm really, right now I'm still sitting at heights too, and it was really bad. So it was like a team thing to water with the cross, and halfway through I stood there, I was horrified, I kept looking down, and I felt like I was going to fall to my death. But instead of getting mad at me for sabotaging the competition, the staff there told all the kids to cheer me on, and through that, because they proved that it's happened for me, it really motivated me to get from one side to the other. It was that simple. So that's the key point I want to emphasise today is the importance of being positive and encouraging young people to be able to move forward. And don't get as annoying as we can be, just a little bit of sympathy, it really helps us go the whole way. And this encouragement has helped me quite a lot, such as I'm currently doing my advancing, which I was encouraged to do by the local staff there. Personally, I was up on the stage this week, horrifies me, get really nervous, but thanks to every person around me who told me, go for it, don't consider the consequences. That's really what helped me. So I'd like to thank you all for listening, and don't relate, I'm still single. Thank you.
Story of confidence building because people have believed in him and given him opportunities. And you're going to go and get your bus with this kind of stuff. He's a busy man. Our second short story comes from the amazing Amy, who is part of the youth group at St Mary's Lane, Bramwell Lane. Amy's also 17, so he'll be back here in a second.
So I think for me, what I think youth workers need to hear is just to go ahead and ask us to do stuff, because if you don't know, then if you don't tell us, then we're not going to really know. So, and I understand that's not the traditional way of doing things in the church, when you come to me and ask me, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do something, because I'm a year 13 student, I have priorities, guys. Like, I have A-levels, and it's not looking great right now, so I need to revise. But, like, you can ask me, and I may say yes, or I may have to decline at certain points. But I think it's better to just know that you tried to ask me, and that I know personally that I thought, you know what, maybe I wasn't able to do it this time, but I can obviously do it another time when I get the chance and the opportunity. And it makes me just know that my voice is being heard. So I think that's mainly what I wanted to say, which I realised it actually was really short. I don't know. And then Ian said a lot, and you did good, so I don't know what else to say.
Don't just think it, do it. Is that what I've heard? Yeah, absolutely. Good advice. And think that with your children and young people. Don't just think, maybe they could do it. Just ask and see what might happen. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our next short story is happening on the screen, and you're about to meet Moses and Bella. Moses is they're both being interviewed by Moses' mum, who is a vicar, just to set a little context to what they say, so hopefully that will make sense. Okay, let's hear from Moses and Bella.
I mean, I think from a faith perspective for me, because obviously, like, you, like my mom, you're like a vicar, and all our family like has very theological, yeah, we have good knowledge of theology. So like linking with the church, I feel that like it needs to be a space where I can really feel like a community. Like I've never been in a church where I've like known everyone and everyone's known me, because yeah, I mean it's just hard to have that.
I think personally, like as a member of the LGBT, I think it'd be great if the church had was more open-minded towards like new things and like new communities that are becoming more out there like in the world. And I think it'd be great if we could just be maybe more recognised and less like pushed aside.
So you're speaking today to a bunch of youth leaders and people who are passionate about helping young people to be part of the church. You've got 30 seconds to say something to them. What do you want to say, Moses?
Bella, I'm going to steal what you said earlier. Be more woke.
Be more woke.
Be more woke is very important. I mean, like, I also think with like youth leaders and young people, like really get to know them. Like the best youth leader that I've ever had experience of, like knew me so well. Like I counted him as like a family friend. And yeah, like I loved like hanging out with him, and he really, really knew me, and I think that's really, really like helpful for like getting youth to engage.
Round of applause for Moses and Bella. Some of these young people are so busy we can't get them here on Saturday. They're very busy lives, doing lots of things. But key messages from these two is be inclusive, be welcoming, and create opportunities for relationship, the importance of relationship, being known. So if you're working with children, you prioritise knowing them, because it makes a huge difference to their sense of belonging in the church. Great. We have another video one, and then we're going to finish with Justin here. This is the wonderful Amelia, who is 14. She's from Skipton, from St Andrew's LEP, which is a URC and Methodist church. Off you go, Amelia.
Hi, my name's Amelia and I'm 14 years old. One thing I am really passionate about in church is making sure that young people and children feel included. Traditional Sunday morning services can sometimes not be the most engaging, especially for children and young people who are new to church, because often we are being talked at and not fully involved. This can mean that children and young people might have a negative view of church. This is something that I really want to change. Research shows attention spans are much shorter than they used to be, so making sure services are engaging is even more important. Personally, I like it when, instead of one sermon, there are 3 or 4 short sections. This really helps me to listen and retain what has been said. Also, having songs spread throughout the service provides breaks from sitting still and allows the information to stick. I also really like it when preachers or worship leaders use a slideshow, video, or other visuals. It creates something for me to look at, and I know that it definitely keeps me listening and being interested in what's said. However, there are many ways to connect and engage with children and young people outside of the Sunday morning service. One thing my church offers is Messy Church. This is amazing as it's enjoyable and engaging for all ages, and still shares the message of God's love for everyone. It's enjoyable because there are different activities to do. Children and young people don't have to sit down or sit still, and they can choose what they want to do. At Messy Church, there's also lots of opportunities to chat with leaders about faith, but also about daily life. This helps to build relationships between children and young people and the wider church. Doing church differently helps create relationships with the community and with people who don't come to the traditional Sunday morning services. I think that every church needs to be accessible and interesting for all ages, including children and young people. I know that different churches do different things and it won't be one size fits all. However, in every church there is potential for something to happen that builds connection with children and young people, making the Christian faith relevant and fun. Overall, I think that in every church there should be at least one thing which helps spread God's love to children and other people and helps break the negative stereotype that church is boring.
She has said a lot. I hope you're taking notes and listening. Amazing. Focusing on relationships and being visual, being welcoming, keeping things short and to the point. Wonderful, thank you, Amelia. Our final short story is from Justin, and Justin is from the Manor School. He's from the Manor Parish, and he has a very important story to share. Come on.
Hello everyone, I hope you're well. My name is Justin. I'm 14 years old and a student at All Saints Catholic High School. My favourite thing to do is play video games like a teenager. And when I'm older, I would like to go into the business of prosthetics. I used to come to church with my family, and to be honest, I didn't really believe in Christianity. I just came because I liked people there. And that's my reason for a lot of my childhood. And when I was around 12 years old, I started to ask myself questions. How does everything exist without some divine being creating them? How was the earth created? The answer to those questions is nobody really knows, and it's all about belief. If we learn something in school or anywhere else, then we don't choose to know that. But one thing we can choose is what we believe. And really the key word there is choose. And so after I realised that, I was faced with a new question. Who's right? And, well, yeah, I choose that choice to be Christian, like I said, because it's the religion that my parents have, and it's the religion that I grew up with. And I told you earlier that I'm a student at All Saints Catholic High School, and I'm sure a few of you have heard about what happened on Monday, the 3rd of February, where one of the students was fatally stabbed. And at first, when the school entered lockdown, people had told me that someone had been stabbed, and I thought it might have just been a silly rumour that people had been spreading, but I still accepted the possibility that it might be true. And to be honest, the person who was stabbed, I didn't know it very well, but when I saw him around school, it was like he always had quite a cheeky smile on his face. And when I found out it was true, it was posted on Facebook from the police, detailing what had happened. And at first I didn't really, I didn't really understand what actually happened, and then the reality of it hit me. Someone had been injured, and it might have been fatal. So, and later when my mum would pick me up from school, she was showing me something on BBC News where he lost his life. And I thought, be honest, it's not really the neighbour himself being killed, but the reason that he's done that is because the person who's been stabbed is living a good life up in heaven, which is pretty important in this important as being alive. And I think one of the important parts of the Bible is one of the Ten Commandments, which says to love your neighbour as yourself. Because if that would have happened, then the student who had been stabbed would never have lost his life.
Thank you, Justin, for sharing that very important story for us to hear and what you've taken from it, what the school has taken from it. I'm sure we've all heard stories like that, and some of you will be more closely connected to that story, I'm sure. Be aware of those who you might know, like Justin, who have been impacted. We all need each other at times like that, and you can hear some of the belief that Justin has taken from that and how it is shaping his own understanding and faith. Those are important places to navigate together. Thank you. Thank you to all. Can we give Anna Kinsman at the door? Can we give our absolutely precious stories. Thank you for coming and sharing with us.